Once it thundered with coal wagons, steam and ships waiting to be filled. At its peak, this single structure handled up to 140,000 tonnes of coal a week. Today, Dunston Staiths is silent, burned by fire, worn by time, saved again and again by people who refuse to let it disappear. Welcome back to 55 degrees north. Today we're exploring Dunston Staiths, the last great coal shipping stave on the River Tyne. The story begins in 1890. On the 26th of August that year, the first pile was driven into the riverbank. The North Eastern Railway was building a new coal loading facility to handle the enormous output from the Durham coalfield. 3 years later, on the 16th of October 1893, the first stave opened. At the time, Britain was still powered by coal. Coal heated homes, drove factories, powered ships and fuelled railways, and the Tyne was one of the great coal shipping rivers of the world. Dunston Staiths became a crucial link in that chain. Coal came in by rail, ships carried it out to London, Scotland, Scandinavia and beyond. By 1903, the structure had been expanded with a second matching stave and a basin cut into the riverbank. Together they gave Dunston 6 berths, 6 places where ships could be loaded, 6 points where the coal beneath the North East became the fuel of distant cities and industries. Imagine standing here in the 1920s. The air thick with coal dust, timber creaks beneath the weight of the loaded wagons, locomotives push coal trucks up onto the deck, chains rattle, men shout instructions over the noise. Below, ships wait on the Tyne. Then comes the tipping. Coal crashes through the chutes and pours into the holds below, again and again, hour after hour, week after week. At its peak, Dunston Staiths handled around 140,000 tonnes of coal every week, and in the peak year around 5.5 million tonnes. But behind those numbers were people. The Staiths were not just a landmark, they were a workplace. Dangerous, noisy, physically demanding. Men worked across different levels of the structure, surrounded by moving wagons, heavy timber, coal dust, tides and weather. For the communities around Dunston, Gateshead and the Tyne, this place was part of everyday life. It was the sound of work, the smell of coal, the sight of ships leaving the river. It was the North East doing what it had done for generations, sending coal to the world. But no industrial empire lasts forever. After the Second World War, Britain's relationship with coal began to change. Deep mining declined, energy use shifted, freight systems were reorganised. The giant timber machine on the Tyne became less and less necessary. By the 1970s, regular use had faded dramatically. Then on the 4th of March 1980, the final coal shipment was loaded from Dunston Staiths. After nearly 90 years of service, the structure's working life was over. What followed was uncertainty. What do you do with a structure this big, this fragile, and this tied to the past that Britain was rapidly leaving behind? Demolish it? Forget it? Or try and save it? In 1983, Dunston Staiths was given Grade 2 listed status. It also became a scheduled monument. That protection recognised what many local people already knew. This was not just old wood, this was one of the last surviving monuments of the coal and railway economy that had shaped the North East. In 1990, Dunston Staiths found a new role. It was restored and opened as part of the Gateshead National Garden Festival, a major attempt to transform the industrial land into a public space. For a moment, the Staiths were no longer just a relic of coal, they became a heritage attraction, a place to walk, look across the Tyne and understand the scale of what had once happened here. But saving a timber structure over water is never simple. Weather, tides, rot, vandalism and fire all became constant threats, and in 2003 disaster struck. During the night of the 19th and 20th of November 2003, Dunston Staiths caught fire. The blaze was devastating. Around 20% of the structure was destroyed, and nearly 70 firefighters were reportedly involved at the height of the emergency. The fire created the famous gap that still defines the Staiths today, a missing section in the middle of the great timber structure. Later accounts have consistently described the fire as arson or suspected arson, although the public records do not clearly show the final court outcome. But whatever the legal ending, the physical result was impossible to ignore. The Staiths were no longer simply decaying, they were wounded, and that wound became part of their modern identity. For many people, the 2003 fire was the moment Dunston Staiths changed from a forgotten industrial structure into something much more urgent, something that had to be saved before it was too late. In December 2013, the Heritage Lottery Fund announced a grant of £418,900 to help bring Dunston Staiths back into public use. By 2014, new timbers were being grafted onto the old structure. By 2015, a major restoration programme had been completed, with the site reopening after work worth around £1 million. But this was not a full rebuild. The aim was not to erase the scars, it was to stabilise, repair and reopen parts of the structure safely. Old timber and new timber met side by side. The Staiths were no longer an industrial machine, but they were becoming something else, a place of memory, a place of community, a place where the North East could stand face to face with its own history. Further fires caused damage in 2019 and again in May 2020, when the blaze destroyed part of the top deck walkway. The incident was treated as deliberate, with significant damage reported. Despite this, local volunteers and supporters once again rallied to protect and preserve the structure. Dunston Staiths once helped send millions of tons of coal from the North East to the entire world. Today, it stands as one of the last great reminders of that age, fragile, battered, but still here. And maybe that is what makes it so powerful. It is not a polished monument, it's a survivor. Have you ever visited Dunston Staiths, or do you remember seeing it in its working days? Please let me know in the comments below. If you've enjoyed this journey into the hidden history of the North East, please give the video a massive thumbs up, as it really helps the channel grow. And if you've not already done so, please consider subscribing to 55 Degrees North and hit that bell notification for when I release more videos. A massive thank you for watching. I'll see you next time, right here on 55 Degrees North.